Recognizing the member for Nanaimo-North Cowichan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to my friend, the member from Peace River North, for the excellent statement. And I appreciate his sentiments about the value of local media. I share them. I think back to earning half my hockey school money and half of every broken hockey stick by delivering the two local papers that were in competition with each other, and how that taught me a certain accountability. I'm not sure where those lessons have gone now, but that's another statement. But in fact, you had to get up every morning and be there and then meet people in the community. There's just so many levels that local papers have contributed to ourselves and our communities. We do live in changing times where people, as the member suggested, get most of their media through social media platforms. And there are obvious inherent risks in that, the fact there may not be as responsible to fact as our local newspapers were, because they were accountable to the people in the grocery store lineup and to that kid delivering the paper. So there was a certain assurance that we were getting true facts from the perspective that knew the people that they were being addressed to. And I think that was very important. Getting a local paper delivered to your door and having it, if there were one or two per week, be there and available, so you would leaf through it and you'd see the things that people were doing in your community. There's a real connection. And also, Madam Speaker, the amazing number of good reporters who I have dealt with in the 18 years I've been in MLA, who got their start in local papers. In fact, Keith Baldry was a reporter in the local Cowichan paper back when I was a little bit younger. I won't say that I was younger than Keith, but we were both younger at that time. And that's the farm team of our bigger and more regional media outlets. So I don't know what effect that will have in the future, but I can't imagine it's going to be positive. And finally, I would say, Madam Speaker, that it also contributes to a deeper radicalization of people's views, because local papers needed to be accountable. They had a granular understanding of their communities, and they needed to portray the facts in a way that was relevant to the community, rather than this 35,000 foot level debate that can happen on bigger media platforms where people take entrenched viewpoints and just fight and defend those, rather than having a conversation. So I think that's a deeply important part of the value of local media. And then also I would reflect on one experience I had in the last election where a local reporter, or local media person and local politician, Doug Patterson, was the BC United opponent in that election. And we were on an online debate, and one of the other candidates said something that I disagreed with and I knew not to be factually correct. But I had used all my options for response. So the BC United candidate, Doug Patterson, asked the moderator if he could give me one of his chips for a response, and he was allowed to. So that it was a really good moment, because we were able to correct the record. It was two opponents who had to cooperate because we've known each other for probably 35 years, and we'd have to be accountable to each other and our friends in the grocery store lineup. So that, and he happens to be the father of a local reporter and the guy who, because the paper has fewer resources, puts in extra volunteer hours to put the paper together every week. So that's the kind of commitment that it takes, and it keeps the community knitted together. So you never know how those things are going to play out. But in that case, it played out in a way that was, I thought, very civil. It was good for the community because the facts got on the table, and it showed people that we can actually cooperate, as my friend Peace River North and I do all the time as we've worked together over the years. So I think that's the value of local media that is overlooked, that as we live in a more radicalized, more extreme world, it's a value that I appreciate ever more every day. So between paper boys paying for hockey sticks and junior reporters learning how to do the work that it takes to be on the bigger stage, and right through to local democracy and getting along in community, not being radicalized. That's what local papers do for us, and I hope that we see a resurrection of their and that
Thank
they
you,
thrive.
member.
Yeah.
Thank you.